This is the first time I'm actually sharing this experience with anyone, and it's taken me quite a while to be able to tell it, because ever since it happened, I haven't been the same. I don't sleep as well, have constant nightmares, have been generally getting more ill and just being traumatized. My brother as well, with whom it occurred. Last summer, in July, I was visiting my brother, who happens to live in northern Michigan in a town called Rapid City. The place itself is pretty close to the Traverse State Forest area in which a long road runs through it called Supply Road. This road has thick forests and brush on both sides with occasional farms. We'd gone down south to Fife Lake, which is only about a 30-minute drive from where he lived. He wanted to show me around the area and the lake itself and have some fun with photography. It was about 9 p.m. when we finally decided to call it a day, and it was pretty dark at this point. On the way back, we were both like, fuck it, let's drive through the Traverse State Forest area for a more scenic route, even though it's out of the way. We both love the woods and going through scenic routes, and I love getting to see new parts of Michigan. As we pulled onto Supply Road, it didn't seem more than 7 or so minutes before we had our experience with whatever the hell it was we saw. Going north on this road, on the left side, is about 10 or so feet of clearing with just dirt and grass before it hits thick brush and trees. It was a little after 9 p.m. at this point, and as we were driving, I'm in the passenger seat, I noticed this large, black-like dog on the side of the road. But something wasn't right. It looked like it was crouched down as a human being would, waiting to jump out or something. It wasn't looking over in our direction, but you could tell its head was absolutely canine-like. As we got closer and the lights actually started to shine on it, it immediately turned its head towards us and stood up as it made this horrible hissing-like sound. I don't know how else to describe it. Both my brother and I turned sheet white at this point. It slammed on our brakes. About 30 feet away from us on the side of the road standing was this, I don't even know what to call it. I want to say werewolf because that's the only thing that really described what it looked like. But then maybe it was a skinwalker. I don't know. This beast had piercing, sharp yellow eyes that for some reason didn't reflect at all when the light hit them. But they almost seemed to glow on their own, which was creepy in and of itself. The thing had a longer snout and very sharp pointed ears and was massively tall. When it hissed at us, you could see how sharp its massive teeth were and how fast it stood up and scared us both as we'd startled this thing. The thing honestly looked like something out of a goddamn horror movie, and if CGI actually looked real. We had our windows rolled down all the way home, and we smelled what I can only describe as a mix of garbage, decaying flesh, and wet dog together. We didn't really smell it until after it stood up and we'd slammed on our brakes. This damn thing was about 8 or 9 feet tall, I would say, and had a humongous bill. Not bulky per se, but it was big and extremely lean. It looked like an extremely masculine and lean human male body, although I didn't see any genitalia. This thing was very shaggy and hairy, with finger-like claws, like pretty much you'd see in a typical werewolf movie. I didn't get a chance to stare at the feet or anything, as I was motionless staring at this thing. We only got to stare at it for what seemed like a few seconds before it let out this horrible scream that shook me and my brother to the core. It immediately started to pace towards our truck aggressively with its claws baring and teeth baring as if it were extremely aggressive and ready to kill me and my brother. We screamed at the top of our lungs and floored it as hard as we could. He literally sped all the way home, and we didn't say a word the rest of the way. We didn't sleep at all that night, and I haven't been the same person ever since. What I saw that night truly terrified me so badly, and I'm sharing this with people because I hope they can educate themselves and know what's out there, or that it will help someone speak up and share their experience and not worry about ridicule.